Through a series of activities, students explored how artists express emotion through the use of line, color, and shape. Students will study the painting The Scream by Edvard Munch. Students have previously learnt about warm and cool colors and used them in their artworks. This series of activities tests to see if they are able to identify these colors in an artwork and identify how these elements portray meaning. In the first lesson, students studied the painting The Scream by Edvard Munch. As a class, students discussed what emotions they feel the artwork portrays and what makes them feel like this. The class discussed a brief history of the artist to help them understand why he might have painted this picture. They also gave suggestions as to why they think the character in the painting is screaming and what would make them want to scream or portray an emotion similar to the one in the painting. This activity develops students' visual perception skills and helps them to identify with the character in the painting. The class also talked about the use of lines in the painting and how the horizontal, vertical, and diagonal lines draws the eye to the central theme of the composition. I explained that lines and compositions create a visual path that draws the viewer's gaze to certain aspects of the artwork. Artists use lines to create depth, convey movement and feeling, and to define shapes and areas. Students explored a number of different artworks to familiarize themselves with how line is used in art. During the class discussion, students indicated their anxiety about the upcoming NAPLAN test and their concern about not performing well. I brought up different techniques students can use to reduce anxiety. One such technique is art therapy. Numerous studies have found that art slows down the mind, helps children and adults concentrate better, and is a great way to express internal feelings and anguish in a non-threatening way. Art therapy has also been found to increase awareness of self and others, and to help people cope with stress, trauma, and anxiety, to name a few. I encourage students to use the art as a means to express their internal feelings and worries. Using pencils, pastels, and paint, students were given the option of either producing their own version of the Scream or something different, which they felt would represent their feelings. I encouraged students to think about the message they were trying to convey and how they will present this message through the use of lines and color. This will allow students to transform what they have learned into a visual response. Students wrote a brief artist statement about their artwork, how they made it, and what they like and dislike about it. This will be displayed along with their artwork around the class. As an English extension, students wrote a short acrostic poem about anxiety. Students presented their artworks and acrostic poems to the class. The students analyzed their own and others' displays and reflected on their learning in their journals. These series of activities aligns with the Queensland Studies Authority Essential Learnings for the Arts.